Boy Lamed Ches Sifim. V'daber Dover. The pasuk says in Yeshaya Navi, V'daber Dover, regarding Shabbos. The Gemara in Shabbos expounds Darsha Chachamim Shelo Yehei Diburecha Shel Shabbos Ki Diburecha Shel Chol. What does this mean? On Shabbos, your speech, your dibur, should be different.
Should not be like you're speaking in Chol.
Like in Chol. Um,
Like you say in Yiddish, Nicht Shabbos gerät.
ah. Shalai Yomer Davar Ploini Es Elamacher. A person shouldn't say, tomorrow I'm going to be doing this.
Even for mitzvah?
No, 1 minute. Good question. V'afilu davar sheni also says to b'Shabbos asim de b'seifim. Even if it's something that really on Shabbos itself, it's really permitted in HaTorah. Only in Issa Midrabanan. Kigoin schirus, rentals, mekachamemker sales, chayotze behem. It doesn't say in the Torah that that's considered malacha. If I'm not writing, I'm just talking about my deals. So api halacha, pi min haTorah, it's okay. Midrabanan, we don't do that because that will bring us to right. Even though this that I'm speaking today, even if it's not going to help me for tomorrow, so I'm not accomplishing anything. Still in all, you're not supposed to talk about it on Shabbos. And what's the beginning of the pasuk? Remember?
No.
So you should refrain from a daber davar. You should refrain mimitzoi.
Shabbos morning.
Mimitzoi cheftzcha. Where's the siddur? We have a siddur.
Second paragraph.
صاحب شهادة ده عشت عناق على الشم كتيخة للمنطقة عارف كتين شن ديبه
In Tashim Shabbos Aglecha, Yaseis, Havatzecha.
נצא דבר
ביום קודשי וכל דרשה וצנע לכל השם מקומות ושם בדם עשו דברים פה ואני אעשה בלתו ועשת רבחך לא אפצה חוצך ובדיל לדבר
You should make honor the Shabbos. Me'asois l'checha, from doing your things that you normally do. Mimitzoi chefza, from doing the objects that you usually do. V'daber davar, and talking the normal talk. So we learn out from different things. So it explains Alter Rebbe, if I discuss things that are going to help me tomorrow, I speak to someone and tell him, I want you to come and work for me tomorrow. That Amira helps him. It's helpful for him. And therefore it's aser mitzad mimitzoi chefzecha, because I'm doing my chafatzim on Shabbos. I'm doing my actions on Shabbos. However, if I speak talks that will not help me for tomorrow, I'm schmoozing about it, it's aser mitzad v'daber davar. Mash'ein kin kisha al atzmei shiyasa davar pleni l'macher. If someone says about himself, tomorrow I'm going to do this and this, I'm going to make this and this deal tomorrow. If he talks about himself and says, tomorrow I'm going to make this and this deal, he didn't change anything. It's not like he talked to someone, said to him, tomorrow I want you to do this and this for me. He just spoke about himself, and it's gonna happen regardless. So the Isser over here is not Mimtzad Mivtzoi Chefzecha. Because you weren't might say you didn't find your chafatzim on Shabbos. It's also misho African also shemadaber davar she diburi b'Shabbos k'diburi shachel. V'afilu im afilu loimer mitzvah ploini says l'machar aser. He says tomorrow I'm going to do this and this mitzvah. It's aser.
Tomorrow I'm gonna
When?
get stuck.
Right?
No,
Imu mitzvah she'asal says b'Shabbos.
Stuck, you know.
Right? If it's a mitzvah that he can't do on Shabbos, he can't talk about it. Hi, we have a klal, things that have to do with your chafatzim, you're not allowed to do on Shabbos.
Not somebody else.
But cheftzei shamayim is allowed. Because cheftzei shamayim. Mutter l'daber b'Shabbos. Al shitzoyrech l'mitzvah dilazu. If your dibur is going to help for the mitzvah, you're going to discuss it with someone, it's going to be important to let people know.
Can I just say tomorrow morning I'm gonna put tefillin on? It's a mitzvah. But you cannot do it on Shabbos.
I learned that in Yisrael, the one thing you're allowed to do on Shabbos is to buy property off from a guy. On Shabbos, you're allowed to do that. I remember learning that years already.
Right. We're allowed to have a goy sign our contracts to buy property in Eretz Yisrael. It's Tzorich Mitzvah. Most probably we'll learn about it soon.
Mitzvah Yeshuv Haaretz.
Right. It's a good question. What you're asking is a very good question. If someone says, I'm going to put on tefillin tomorrow.
I'm going from the time
And
tomorrow.
if you don't say it,
I'm going
No,
from the
speak.
time.
if you don't say it, you're gonna put anyway, right?
Yeah.
So
Based on what we learned
people
over
did not
here,
mention
it seems that from Ikad, this is a problem because I'm not accomplishing anything. If the point is because I want other people to also join me, okay,
If
so then I have a tzarich mitzvah. But I'm just talking about things that have no te'elas mitzvah today.
Either way, it's happening.
It's happening either way. I'm not trying to affect anyone else. I'm just trying to talk, discuss what I'm doing.
But you're allowed to say tefillin in Shabbat. Tefillin is like not moktzeh, but you know, allowed.
It depends why you're discussing it. You're allowed to discuss it. The question is why you're having the discussion. If you have a purpose to discuss it, discuss where can I get tefillin from,
You can't sell somebody. I'm gonna sell
or
you tefillin
who can I put a tefillin on?
Or let's say you want to
You
sell.
have a purpose. That's tzorich mitzvah.
I'm gonna sell you tefillin tomorrow morning. That's not allowed for Shabbos.
You're gonna sell tefillin?
I'm gonna sell you a pair of tefillin tomorrow.
Oh, yeah,
on
that's
Shabbos, you
that's
said.
already money.
You're not allowed to.
What about somebody makes a clutch button thing?
Huh?
We want to say clutch in the spring, button being a tractor.
What's the problem?
Again, it's tzorich mitzvah.
Everybody
If
over
it's a tzorich, so basically we have a difference between talking about a mitzvah or tzorich mitzvah, the help for a mitzvah. Just to discuss mitzvahs that are also to do on Shabbos.
People
the
are not
purpose.
careful with it. So all the time people come Shabbos, hey, how you doing? They start talking about what did they do this week?
People.
They
So
didn't like
we're that's why we're learning halachas because we need to become acquainted with them.
Rabbi Lerner,
Father and
Like-
son.
like Hachnasas Kala, you are allowed to speak about it.
Oh, really?
We're learning about tzedakah.
If you have a purpose for it, right? If you have a purpose to collect for it or to discuss how it's going to be done.
Well, selling aliyahs is the same way. Selling aliyahs on Shabbos is, Derech Mitzvah.
All right. Or somebody can make an
That's
appeal
a
on
tzarich
Shabbos.
mitzvah, correct? That's a tzarich mitzvah.
Rabbi, I go visit people in rehab and nursing home. I can tell my friend, I'm gonna meet you. I'm gonna take B11 tomorrow, but 12 o'clock. I meet you there 1 o'clock. That's what that.
You're going to be what? I'm going to meet you tomorrow.
I'm gonna take the bus. Take B11. Stop by my managers. I take the bus 12. I meet you there 1 o'clock. downstairs.
You're not allowed to do it on Shabbos.
Look like
Huh?
Who are you saying it to?
To somebody that I go with.
No, but on
it,
Shabbos you want to tell the
does he
guy
need to
that
know?
tomorrow-
Does he need to know?
Yeah. Yes,
Oh.
know what time you're gonna meet.
Yeah, it's not good because
Oh,
you're
but
making
he's
a
saying-
plan. You're making a plan for tomorrow.
Maybe he's saying that he needs to tell him because for a mitzvah purpose.
But you're not allowed to
The
make
question
plans.
is he allowed to tell him how he's going to get there? That he's
It's
driving.
It's part of the mitzvah.
If it's important to let him know that
It's important.
way, he should know how you're going to get there. If you're not important to know how, no. I think after we learn the simmer, we're not going to be talking too much on Shabbos.
I have no problem with that. Other
Right.
people have to.
you don't
Right,
have to
yeah.
listen to. No, then you're not supposed to talk about the Shabbos.
Afilu
It's
sichas
not the
betelim
problem.
sheim bam zeichas siyas malacha klal. Rabbi say even stam dvarim betelim that are not discussing any malacha, any doing something which is a malacha. Again, it's also laharbes b'mashabes. It's not usher to talk about it, but you shouldn't be marbe. You shouldn't talk about it a lot. Shalei dibra Shabbat to dibra chol. It should be a nicker change in the way you talk on Shabbos. Kevnei Adam shesipur shmuis dibra chedushim hu oinig lehem. Tar musapa Shabbos becoming bechol. People that enjoy hearing the news, knowing what's going on by Beryl, by Yankel.
Go to the
By
mikveh.
Trump.
In the mikveh, you hear all the news.
And so they say the president of the United States one time came to the mikveh because he heard in the mikveh you find all the information out.
Yeah.
So he said, "Well, was is nice." He was taught to ask. So he asked the guy nearby him. He said, "Listen, they say that the president is going to be coming to the mikveh today."
Heard it.
So if they enjoy, this is a famous Tumas Hadeshin, if they enjoy discussions about the news, what the kings are doing,
Onek
it
Shabbat.
says the Tumas Hadeshin, the Shalos and Shuvah Tumas Hadeshin discusses that in the shuls then, people discuss what the kings are doing and the maneuvers that they're doing in their wars. Just people say, just like today, in the shuls, they discuss why is this aircraft carrier here and why is this army here? And everyone, the Yidden all know in shul. They all have their opinion, how the war should be won, how it should be done. So if it's something you enjoy, you could do it on Shabbos.
And there's nothing they can do about it.
Avogam b'choil ein lebnei toida lahar b'sichzu shemaisim leitzim. Even during b'choil, you shouldn't be married in these discussions. Havami she'enim is ane b'dibrei shmuos. Also, Satma Shabbos is ane b'mchaveri. He doesn't enjoy it, but he knows his friend enjoys hearing news. Let me tell him the news. But he's not a newsy guy. The problem. Siv Gimel also lakav anachi b'Shabbos v'lachoiv. You can't hold back a guy on Shabbos, like tell the judge to hold him back because he's not paying, to restrain him because he's not paying up a debt. You can tell the judge, how come last Shabbos you didn't hold back the guy? Even he understands the next time the guy will come to the city, even if it's on a Shabbos, he's going to hold him, put him in arrest him. But you're not allowed to have them arrest a guy on Shabbos because he owes you money. Also, la'akev lichsei Ruben miyat Shimon Shabbos.
That's two Jewish people, obviously.
So how you holding is nechosim on Shabbos.
Um,
It's supposed to be.
Let's say also he owes him.
He owns it.
Ruvain owes money to Shimon. So Shimon will say, well, it says, I want to hold those collateral.
So the Shabbos,
He'll pay up on Shabbos. It's weekday activities.
Or is it saying that he's ruling his own Shabbos? It's ruling the whole Shabbos.
In Dallas, he's not on Shabbos.
Or he's doing on Shabbos.
This Shabbos. Sifei, also the Saper be'ez davar shenisku excited. Mises oyevei. You cannot discuss something painful. Someone, his friend passed away.
In other words, if you find out Shabbos somebody passed away, and somebody else doesn't know about it, you're not allowed to tell them, hey, you heard this guy passed away this morning.
If it's gonna pain him, it's a problem. It's a friend of his, yeah. It's a friend of his. It's someone that he,
Better not to talk.
it was just news. But if he's gonna be pained from it,
What are you gonna do about it?
what can you do about it on Shabbos, anyways?
Say a couple of I don't know what.
He's died already. Kol davar she'alsa asoyis b'Shabbos min hadin also lo melanachri. I feel ba'oid yoyim la'asoyis b'Shabbos. Anything which is usher to do on Shabbos, min hadin, it's also to tell a guy even erev Shabbos to do. Lafilu einoi tzarich daber zeh ad la'achar Shabbos. L'daber zeh, even if you don't need this till after Shabbos. Koyin she'omer loy koydem haShabbos liskli poilim b'Shabbos. She asked the malacha achar Shabbos.
The job is going to do after Shabbos, but he's going to find new workers on Shabbos. That's the problem.
Yeah, the work is going to happen Sunday.
But to find the workers,
But you're telling the guy, erev Shabbos,
I need you to get me
you should
some
find you
for-
workers on Shabbos. So when you're having a guy doing something for you on Shabbos, for shlichus, aval adavar she chumar ba'alma yisrael smoy yachaloymer la'nachri la'aseisav b'Shabbos. What happens if sometimes you have something that's only a chumrah for a yid to do himself on Shabbos? Ikra din he could do it, but it's a chumrah not to do it. So you can have a guy.
you're allowed to tell
Yeah, someone asked me recently. He said that he's in a place upstate where there's an Eruv there, but the Eruv is made with kulas, with certain leniencies. We're not talking about an area that's in a city where it could be Shiloh, which is but an upstate area, which is smaller areas, but a city upstate. But there are a number of things that the person who made the Eruv, they asked him, how did he make it? And what kulas did he make? And he said, I made this kula, I made that kula, and he gave 4 leniencies that he made it with. So the Yid wants to imachron, this person wants to imachron himself. He doesn't want to rely on these things because a number of these things, it says clearly that toiv not to do these things. Should not carry in such a type of Eruv. So he said, can I use a guy to carry an Eruv? I'm not going to carry an Eruv. Can I use a guy? So what do we see over here? It's not a
meal enough.
It's not a meal enough. You don't have to have here, by the way, the rules, and you don't need to have here the klalim that you have, which we're going to learn in Mitzvah soon and further on Sifim, that when you want to have a guy do something in Shabbos, there are certain halachas. People sometimes feel we get very comfortable having a Shabbos guy. The Shabbos guy can do whatever you want. Yeah. As long as you're not doing it, the Shabbos can do whatever you want. It's not true. There's rules. And not everything is mutter, even through a guy. But over here, I don't have those rules. I don't have to look if it's a tzarich mitzvah, it's not a tzarich mitzvah, it's just a chumrah. We're not talking about something that's a shaila, mamish min hadin. Certain chumras, that says in Paskin that it's better not to do certain things and build this way and do this. But if it's a toiv, it's a yoisa toiv, and so he says, okay, so I can use a goy.
If the air condition doesn't work on Shabbos, very hot, you're allowed to go outside, get your coat to.
On these, in the heat wave, you definitely are allowed to.
What do you tell him?
Exactly. Tell them exactly. You tell them
It's very hard.
exactly what you need to do. You
Can't tell him direct.
can
Go.
tell them direct.
You tell him direct.
No shina. Because the din is, let's make it clear. We're gonna hopefully learn more about it. It's not really in this siman, it's in Reish Ayin Vav. Siman Reish Ayin Vav, all the way back, talks about 30 simanim back, talks about fires. The idea of having a guy make a fire for you on Shabbos, lighting a candle, for heat or for light, all those dinim. The din is hakoil koilum eitz lahatzina. When it comes to tzina, to cold, if we have it's very cold, you're allowed to tell the guy directly to put on my heat, fix the heating system, whatever you need to do. Put more wood in to get the heating on. You could tell them directly if it's very cold. The question is now that we have with the advent of air conditioners, how do we go the opposite? So it depends when. If it's something like it's very hot, it's not just a convenience, comfort issue. It could be dangerous, like we had here for the past few days, for people to be without heat in this weather is
Air conditioning.
and air conditioning, and sometimes you have maybe certain people can better handle it, but you have to also think there's older people, there's children, people will have conditions, heart condition, who knows might what it be that can affect them. So we're not talking about a comfortability issue. You would have to go into the general rules of how you tell him and when you could tell him. But if it's something that's very hot, or if it's a shul that's packed, a lot of people, and stifling, that's a problem. So then you could tell the guy directly. But if it's not that case, then you have to work it out to do it in kosher way. Siv Zayin. Kol davar she'asa lasois loimer lanachli lasoise b'shabris. Aser afilu clear mizeh lasois. If something is indeed also to tell the guy, a remez, hinting it to him, is not going to make it mutter. V'hu adin she'asa loimer le'ezet sivri las davar mutter. In sheyavim mitekach she'asa malacha b'shabris. In Loimanachishina Kaneach Choitmai. You tell the guy, clean your nose. Clean your nose. Wipe your nose. And he'll understand that means to wipe off the what?
The black.
On the candle, you have you have on the top the charcoal, to flick it off, so it will light better. That's as if you're telling it him directly. Just you found a cold way of saying it. But you said, do this. Ela shuberemez afilu manachri ba me'atz lahasaf cham b'lemis Yisrael tzumchus biyadei moishiv shel Yisrael kigayin shaner kima shaner shel Yisrael. And even if the guy comes on his own to do it, you did not hint him anything. In this case, because it's a ner that belongs to Yid, and it's helping light a candle for you, light the light for you brighter, it's a problem. I want to explain to you something just to point out. Over here, the problem is because it's something that your body has hana from. If a guy, for example, wants to put out a fire, that's not a dangerous fire or anything. To extinguish something, you don't have to tell him anything. If he wants to put out, let him put it out. Why? Because I'm not having hana from the extinguishing. From the fire, the candle, I mean, I know I could see. So something that the Guf Yisrael has hana from, or more machmer. When the Guf Yisrael has hana.
When I was romantic in Shabbos going to my shulchan, so it's Shabbos Saturday. Sometimes I go in there, the guy says, which one I should place with? I didn't ask him nothing. He told me by himself, which one you need.
I have something more than that. We have Shabbos elevator. We used to have a doorman that knows.
Aye.
We're going to. One time we forgot to ask someone. So the guy told him, Jewish guy said, you know, for example, 9th floor. He said, you woman, you know how many months she's pregnant? I said, 9 months. Oh, you need 9. They said, not allowed to give him a hint.
Aber mutter loimel anachri ez it sivoi sheyavim in alas es malach HaShabbos and losing malach alas es HaShabbos. If you tell a guy to do something, not clearly, but you tell him something in a hinting way, to do it after Shabbos, that's not a problem. Shalei neser ella the dibur ba'alma b'vad shemadaber daber. Let's make it clear. There is different issues with Amir al-Anachri. This siman doesn't discuss just Amir al-Anachri. It's Dinei Shabbos Hatzluim B'Dibur. Everything has to do with the way you talk. Remember, you're not supposed to talk about things that are usher, your business, different things that are usher to do on Shabbos. That we spoke about, even if nothing to do with a guy, just to talk. Shalei the Baruch HaKichal for Shabbos, the Baruch HaB'Shabbos. You have to make a change in the way you talk. Over here, we're talking about with a guy. If the guy is doing something for me on Shabbos, it's not only a problem of a daber dover, there's also an isser that the guy cannot do for me something on Shabbos. Because the shlichus, the guy is like my shliach to do it. And even if he did it on your own, he did it for you, and you have hana, your guf has hana from it. You have to you have to tell him to stop. You have to tell him to stop if he's using your lighting with your candles, with your candles. However, when I hint him to do something after Shabbos on Sunday, I hint to him that he should light my candles on Sunday or do something with my car on Sunday. It's not a problem. Why? Remember, we have two things to look out for. B'daber davar, you're not allowed to speak about something which
Shabbos.
Which you're not allowed to speak about weekday things, but I spoke in a hinting way. I said to him something, can you clean my house? And I meant it, can you fix my car? I mean, I said something which was, I hinted to him. Like we said over here, the hint, can you wipe your nose? Which meant, can you
clean the candle?
Yeah. So, mitzad the daber davar, I said it, but when I say it at Emes, I didn't say anything wrong. Shlichus. The guy is being my shliach doing malacha. Yeah, when? On Sunday. No problem. It says he's doing it on Sunday. It's as if I did it on Sunday. There's nothing wrong with me doing malacha on Sunday. I can do whatever I want on Sunday. So you have to have both issues. If I do something physical, it's achana. But if I just speak, it's also mitzvah daber davar. But I didn't. I was mishana. I said it with a remez. I didn't say something aser. I said, please wipe your nose tomorrow. The guy understood. I have this hint worked out with him. If I tell him, please wipe your nose, that's what the Shulchan Aruch's lashon is. Oh, it meant in the Shulchan Aruch that it means that he should flick off the charcoal that's on top of the fire. Right. But over here we're talking, let's say, for tomorrow. So what could be the problem? I didn't speak anything usher because I said wipe the nose or whatever my hint was. I didn't do a dibur usher. I'm asking the guy to do something for me. Yes, but the guy's doing it on Sunday. There's no problem. So I have to cover both bases. V'daber davar, And then the guy being my shliach. By the way, the guy could be a shliach, like we said earlier, even if he did it on his own, without your asking him. He can't come to your lights in your house and start turning them on. It's your lights, and he's trying to get to benefit for you on Shabbos. It's a problem. It's not nothing to do with dibur. This issue is not v'daber daber. It's issue because he's like nechshav like your shliach, because you're not telling him to stop. You're giving him reshus by not telling him to say, "Don't touch my stuff." You're giving him permission to use your things. He's like your shliach.
What if you understand that they nursing home? They understand that you have to open a life, hold the right. You don't tell them you understand the reason for it's routine.
Even if it's routine, but if it could be a problem if they're doing it for the yid. If they're doing it also for themselves, let's say they're doing it because they walk into a room. Sometimes you tell the cleaning lady, "Can you tidy up that room?" Not to do something usher, to go and make the beds or, sweep the floor, clean the table, and they walk into the room, they turn on the light.
Then you walk out and shut it off.
That's the problem. That's always the problem. Like the story happened with the Tzemach Tzedek, that they needed the light on in the room where they had the food. I guess it was the kitchen, and so they told the guy to go into the room. They had he should go take himself some schnapps, a glass of schnapps. You're doing such good work. He went into the room. He needed to find the schnapps. So he lit the candle. But he's a gentleman. When he left the room, he put it out. So they told him, "Go in and take another cup of schnapps." And he turned it on again. And right before he wanted to leave, turn it off, they told him, "Don't touch it." Okay? He didn't do it for them. It was ready. Yeah, because he didn't, they called him out right away and he didn't turn it off.
Don't touch it, please don't do anything.
They didn't make him do it. He did it already. So you don't touch my property. Don't touch my stuff. That's it. So it's okay.
I heard from someone.
The nursing homes and place like this, you also have to know if they're chayla. Chayla, there's much more leniencies for a chayla. Mila nachri is mutter for a chayla. So if you have chaylim in a place, and also today's days, you have to know that a lot of the light bulbs that we have today are not necessarily in Ism and HaTorah. There could be more leniencies. And obviously, if one person who owns a nursing home has to work it out, to discuss with HaRav, go through the various things that come up in running the nursing home, and figure out how to make it a pialacha. There are people that own nursing homes, Yidden that own nursing homes in areas where Goyim live, but they have to provide kosher food for them because a Yid is not allowed to make business with treifus. He can't serve treif. He can't be serving treif to his customers. I remember there was a place in Park Slope that had not a senior, like an adult daycare center. They have to serve them. No one's asking for kosher there. And there were yidden there, but there were some yidden there.
Even if they're all goyim, you can't give it. Even if they're all goyim.
I have to discuss it. There might be ways how they do it might be ways how they do it exactly. Maybe there's some heterim. I'm not clear in this halacha, but it's a shaila. It's a shaila about selling. You're not allowed to make a business. There's a halachas of selling things that are usher. Someone one time asked me. He wants to know. He has someone, Makuriv is not yet from, but the guy wants to know if he can make a business. He wants to sell kratzmach trees. There's a problem with him selling kratzmach trees.
All the facility.
These are shilas. The shilas has to be, dealt with. Who's selling all these kratzmach trees around? There might be a Yiddilah over there selling the kratzmach trees. Yeah, it says lavdafke. The tree, you could say it's a holiday symbol. It doesn't really have any connect. It's not an Asherah tree, and you got to find out what the meaning behind it is. It was a lot of years ago, and I wasn't going to go past in the shaila about allowing someone to sell kratzma trees, it's a little more of a serious shkafa shaila. Also, maybe if that should be the guy's, he wanted to sell it online, maybe.
For Kurzweil, since you guys began the corner, said, you want to order this, with the kids, good, that we get selling jewelry, selling the cloth.
Right? That's a shaila. Selling with a Salem.
It's like Jewish Santa Claus.
The story with the rabbi from the Five Towns, right? What's his name? Or from YU, the Mashpia on YU.
Oh, Weinberg.
Rabbi Weinberger. He has a nice story with that.
For the baseball card.
With
Yes.
with,
Kid.
Yeah.
It's like, to give, it's all a much time. It was E. It's the same of these are here. Business is business.
he asked him if he went to yeshiva. I think he said, like, goes to yeshiva. So he's going to yeshiva. He gave him extra because he was going to
I have
yeshiva.
always trained. Yeah, try. So I remember my manager, like,
He said his mother wasn't too happy when he came back with all the toys from the Santa. I think she was.
They don't do that. So he said, but the Santa Claus is a year.
He tells the story. There's a clip where he tells the story when he was younger.
I see a video from a manager Shia that had given with a mall, huge mall, the big gas company, and you want to put the menorah. There's no room for the menorah in the tree. So he said, let me do the menorah, and after this, we'll put back the trees. So you see the shliach after the menorah, like, come on out, moving the menorah and taking all the stuff from the trees and looking. He said, yeah,
There was once a community in I think it was Cherry Hill, New Jersey. The shliach that was there at that time, he wanted to put up a menorah, and as makom, a shliach, he wants to put up a menorah. So the community there, the Jewish community, wrote to the Rebbe a letter directly. The community, the president of the community, and they asked the Rebbe to please not allow his emissary to put up the menorah in their community. That till now there was never any problems. There was no kratzmach trees in the public government, property. And if you're going to bring in now the menorah, so now they'll bring in the kratzmach into the city hall, and they basically said, let's leave things the way it is and status quo. And they asked the Rebbe to please, the respectful letter, to asking the Rebbe to please not, they were not chutzpahdik. They asked the B'nai Meir collection, asked if he would please ask the Sheikh not to do it. So it was a very interesting answer. And there was a back and forth. There was a number of letters. And the Rebbe responded that you're not, by you not having one less kratzmach tree, you're not doing any good to the world. There are kratzmach trees wherever you turn, left and right. There's Avodah Zarah, there's Goyishkeit. But one menorah will make the world of a difference for a Yid who sees that, and his heart be full of Jewish pride by seeing the menorah up. The fact that your gain that your kratzmach tree won't be up, no one will notice if a kratzmach tree is up or it's not up because it's all over the place. That was the gist of what the Rebbe was saying. That basically the world is full of goyishkeit, and your point is you have to put up something of Yiddishkeit there and attract someone. The Rebbe obviously brought also examples that the president had then President Carter had lit the menorah in the White House lawn and lit the shamish. Obviously, I'm talking not the actual menorah, but and other people have come close to Yiddishkeit, and the start was coming to a menorah gathering. But it was a very interesting exchange with the Rebbe back and forth.
Like 20 cents, and then writing in, people kindly you'd say in English like Samuel. It was part of the sentence. So the guy only understood those things you weren't by the Samuel, so you didn't find Samuel.
Yeah.
He wasn't telling you directly, so he's telling you, saying the sentence.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear it. So back to Siv Zayin, we're in the middle of Siv Zayin, second part. So remember, there are two things that we have to be careful about. The daber dover, you can't speak things which are usher to do on Shabbos. On Shabbos, talk about them. Even if your talk about it's not going to help, you still make that isser happen on after Shabbos. You still shouldn't talk about it. There's another issue when you're dealing with a guy, the guy doing something for you, even if you didn't ask him, because the guy is your shliach. He's like your shliach to do something. So that's why we have to be careful with those two aspects. And here we have another case. Until now, we're talking about a hint. I want to tell you there's two types of hints. When people talk about, oh, I'm going to hint to the guy, there's two hints. There's a hint, maybe like what you were saying, maybe there's a hint where I hint him in a way of telling him what to do. I tell the guy, wipe your nose, clean your nose, which I mean something else, to do something usher. Then there's a remez. I never instructed anything. The example is the guy came and brought you, the mailman brought you a letter on Shabbos. And then he brought you he was sent as a messenger to bring you a notice. It was sealed. The letter was sealed. Sheina saw sealed way that a yid couldn't open it. He could tell the guy, I can't open this.
I cannot.
No, I cannot read it.
Cannot read it the entire time it's not open. Can't read it. Can't read the letter.
But what's good that he
But Nachi realizes, yeah, the Jew can't do it on Shabbos. He'll open it. Why is that mutter? She'eni oimelei shum tzivui. Afilu beremez, or shanochi maybe ma'atzish laskim. I did not even hint to him an instruction. I didn't instruct him. I told him a fact. I cannot read this. He on his own understood he should open it. Okay. But I didn't instruct to him, not directly or not even indirectly instruction. There was no instruction. There was a story. I told him a fact. I feel maybe classes came.
This is his job. So he's doing his job. You basically told him, you do your job. That's it. I'm not telling you what to do. You do your job.
Yeah, it happens to be, the parentheses over here. It's a little bit of a deeper concept. Again, like I said earlier, anytime a yid is having hana from the act, even if the guy did it on his own, is problematic. So when you say a story, it doesn't allow you. There's not a klal. Oh, if I sold the b'derech sipur, let's use the word derech sipur. Just like as a story, then the guy could do whatever he wants for you in Shabbos. It's complicated. If you're having direct hana from it, you can. Let's say I want the guy to turn off the oven. Right? The oven was left on and they want to turn it off. So I say, it's very hot in here. On Sabbath, I don't touch electricity. I didn't tell him what to do. He goes and turns it off. I don't have hana from it being turned off. It's a negative. It's turned off. There's no hana. My body. It's not like I'm asking him to turn on the lights, where I'm able to see, turn on heat. I'm able to feel body heat. How about the hana? Anything with which there's no hana to it. My only problem over there is to make sure I didn't instruct him to do it. And not even an instruction in a hinting matter. I just told him a story. Then he understood by himself. It's different.
And the story can include the fact that I can't open this letter because it's out.
Yeah.
How can you say I could?
Why not? Why not? As long as I didn't tell him to
That's
do
like
it.
a hint. That's like you're non-Jewish. I'm Jewish. You go. Huh?
Wait, is this?
You want to turn off the air conditioner. It's very cold. You wanted to turn off the air
To
conditioner.
turn on.
You have your cleaning lady home, and you say, "It's so cold in here. It's so cold in
And I
here.
say, and it's Shabbos, and I can't close it.
Why not? I don't see why not. I didn't instruct him to do it.
Yeah.
No, it's enough if you tell him, Shabbos to myself.
Right. So I'm saying is the reason why we need to have the parentheses is because the Alter Rebbe, I remember seeing this years ago. The issue over here is that you're having hana from the information in the letter. There's a certain direct hana. So it's called the Taisus basically is all boils down to the Rishonim have a contradiction in two Gemaras in Shabbos in the Perek called Kisvei in the 16th Perek in Shabbos, where one Gemara says that I'm not allowed to allow the goy to light a candle for me on Shabbos. If he did it for you, you can't have enough from it on Shabbos. You don't have to leave your house, but you're not like supposed to go close to the candle to have direct enough from it. However, the blot earlier it says that if a guy comes to put out a fire in Shabbos when there's no life danger or anything, he comes to put out a fire. Something is burning of your merchandise, and it's not going to be an issue where it's going to catch fire, which is very seldom today's days how we live that it should be such a thing. But theoretically speaking, there's no problem of nefesh, and the guy comes and wants to put it out. So the Mishnah says you don't have to tell him to put it out. You're not allowed to tell him to put it out because there's no great loss. And on the other hand, you don't have to tell him not to put it out. You can let him do it. The next Mishnah says when a nachi should hit the kiner, if you're supposed to stop the guy from lighting the candle for you, what's the difference? Tosis asks the shaila. The Rishonim explain there's a difference between extinguishing a fire and lighting a fire. When you're lighting a fire, the candle, guf Yisrael nene, you are having actual no. Your eyes are able to see. Hashenkim, when you're putting out the fire, even though he's doing it, having you in mind to put it out, it's your stuff, your merchandise. Since you are not having direct benefit, we don't have a problem with it. So that's what I'm saying. When it comes to turning off the air conditioner, turning off the oven, things like that, my only issue is not the act which is happening, is the way I'm telling it to him. If I tell it to him in a way that's just a story, it's very cold in here, and it's so difficult for me. It's just so cold. Good, he wants to be a nice guy and turn it off. That's fine. Or it's so hot in here, or it smells like gas. I want to turn off the gas. Whatever it might be, that if you know it's a danger, you could do it yourself with the back of your hand if you don't have a guy around. But the letter, it seems over here that the issue over here is that the letter is also having like a direct hana from it. So the Alter Rebbe adds into the parentheses that he's doing it because it's part of his shlichus to get you the envelope and you'll be able to read it. If you can't read it, his mission wasn't done. His mission wasn't accomplished. The guy. So this case, you can connect it to.
Isn't he referring to what he said originally?
I have all these cases where I'm saying that you're not allowed to have the Guf Yisrael have anah and everything. Is all talking about in cases we don't have the heter of Amino enough. In the cases where, like for example, over there you're asking him to the candle was lighting a fire is malacha min Torah. So it's a problem. But if it have a shvus to shvus, anytime I'm having the guy doing Issa Rabbanim, and I have a tzarech gadol or a tzarech mitzvah or tzarech chayla, things like that, I'm able to be matter. We're discussing when you don't have a legitimate heter to do it. L'chatchila, so how you gonna go about doing it? That's the shayla.
Are you allowed to read the letter? Go open it for you?
Yeah. On Shabbos, by the way, Stamazoi, and Shabbos, you're allowed, if you have some package comes to you, people always want to know. They have an Amazon package comes to them on Shabbos. Walmart, whatever it might be that they're using. So if you know it's not muksa, and you can open it, it's in your house, you can open it in a way that you're not pulling off the tape or ripping letters You can slice it, let's say, in an area where there's no letters, and you're not peeling off the tape or the glue, whatever it might be. It's okay to do that on Shabbos. Your letters that you're getting, your bills that you can't read on Shabbos, your bills. That's never usher. That's a problem.
It's not enough.
It's not enough. It was a tsar. But anything, those type of letters. But if you got something which is a package, someone got shoes on Shabbos, they want to use the shoes or a shirt. By the way, you're not allowed to schedule. This goes into these halachas, not right here, but to schedule the guy to bring it to you on Shabbos. Like if they give you options that should come on Sunday, will come on Saturday, you can't pick Saturday.
Even though
If you pick Sunday and it came on Saturday, good, the guy decided to come early, it's fine.
Like on Amazon, you're not allowed to choose Saturday delivery.
If you're choosing it, it's a problem because you're making the guy deliver Shabbos.
For you, sometimes.
However, right, the only choice, then l'chayr it's okay because
They go to your day, not to you should order that day before or after.
Right, I waited next day, but wondered another day.
Essentially, is that a realistic? I think everybody does it, no?
No, but that's not, not to come.
Yeah, he said that's always, the that's not to come. I was never marked it. It's something you have to mark.
but what happens if they only tell you they could come on
That's
Shabbos?
what I'm talking about.
And basically the guy is telling you that you're saying you're saying to the guy that I don't mind if you come a different day. Because you don't need it to Africa on Shabbos. He's telling you I can only come on Shabbos. Okay, you want to only come on Shabbos, come on Shabbos.
But sometimes either Shabbos or you miss it, then you have to be back and eat it.
That's a problem.
How far you have to
They
go.
might run out of.
Is it such a problem that I'm telling you now Wednesday online to deliver on Shabbos? Can't talk about I can tell my Chinese to cook on Shabbos too.
It's a problem. That becomes problematic. Like making the guy, that will come into maybe a shaila.
He leaves it at your door, and you're not paying him for the delivery separately. Usually, it might be different because like Amazon, where everybody would have doing something called Prime, they actually don't make you pay for the delivery separately. But maybe like eBay or a regular store, they're actually paying you $6.99 a packet over there. It's muffled. This issue that you're saying you're actually hiring him for a delivery on Shabbos.
Even if you didn't pay him, right? It's not even a pay. I can't even do something for free for me if I make him do it on Shabbos. The only way maybe I could have a heter for making Shabbos if something
before Shabbos.
maybe if
Some
some
make a good do something for 15 before Shabbos.
if Erev Shabbos I told him tomorrow do all these malachas for me, it doesn't matter. He's on Shabbos. He's my shliach on Shabbos. Do it for me.
What's the problem?
Yeah, look over here. Reish Mem Gimel, at the very beginning of the second siman of Shulchan Aruch. The first line in Amish second siman of Shulchan Aruch, Reish Mem Gimel, and page Zayin. Asru Chachamim loymal anachi las lanu malacha b'Shabbos, bein b'chinam, bein b'schar, ba'af b'she'amar lei koidem haShabbos sheyasa b'Shabbos. Why? Shanachi ois b'Shabbos ois b'shlichas haYisrael. He's your shliach. It could be that in a certain situation with something very vital and a big hefsid, maybe a Rav could be consulted to see the situation. Maybe a person could say, I have a hefsid meruba. It's going to be $50 price difference or whatever, something like that. And I can't, off the hand, it's hard for me to see a heter for it. But a Rav who knows the halachas very well can maybe advise you in that situation. I'm not telling you shouldn't call a Rav. You should call a Rav and figure it out. And generally, the general rule is that you can't choose that option on Saturday. That's the general. It's like telling the guy to have your cleaners ready for you on Shabbos or do something for you on Shabbos, which is also is a problem.
Fixing the car,
eBay gets into other shilas because whether you win the auction on Shabbos, I mean, but I think if you don't pay for it till after Shabbos, it's not considered Mekach Memker. But if you're selling, it's going to be a shtickle problem. If you're selling things, I have a son who's very into stamps, and he likes to buy and sell stamps on eBay. So he discussed with me at one point the shilas that come up, how to, like, if he wants to sell something, can he have the sale, and the sale's going to end on Shabbos? You have like a certain amount of days that you can choose when the sale ends, so that's a problem. But what happens if you want to buy something and the auction ends on Shabbos? So actually, I think the rules are. I don't. It was a number of years ago. I looked into it, but I think the rules are that you don't actually acquire it till you pay for it. You have like a certain amount of time that you have to pay for the item, and you can pay for the item after Shabbos. And they tell you make a payment and pay. If you don't pay, you'll lose it. Okay, these gets complicated. These type of questions. People that are running Amazon businesses have a big problem. Like on Shabbos, how do they? And they have what do they do with Shabbos?
They're relying on every headphone book.
So if you give it over to Amazon to sell your products, one thing. But what happens if you're yourself and you have to make those sales? Someone was explaining to me some of the issues that they face on Amazon.
They have channel for Shabbos. B&H has a system automatically all over the world.
Yeah, B&H doesn't do anything on
The problem
Shabbos.
is that they do it through their website. If you do it through Amazon, there's rules on Amazon. So you're subject is subject to rules. So what happens? Someone is buying on you, clicking on your thing and buying on you. I'm buying your product. So and what do you do? So I don't know. I'm not bucky in these halachas. A Rav has to be a Rav who is aware and understands what Amazon is, and those halachas has to be consulted. What do you, Rabbi Davis? What were you saying?
B&H they even close their computer. You can't even buy anything from B&H.
They're big tzaddikim, but not everyone is on that madrega. People, that's lefnimish. Others have other systems. How they close, I think, the entire site. But other websites that you have, they have other systems, like whether you can maybe put in the information, but the order won't be processed till after Shabbos. I'm not sure, but I've heard. I just think it gets complicated. You're working with Amazon because you're forced. You cannot not sell the product if you're selling it there. So I don't know how they get around it. What do they do?
Okay, it's a good question. But that's very disturbing. That's the bad Amazon owner. When you start,
We're gonna break now for Maidav. Thank you everyone for joining. A shakaya.
That's a clarify.